Yeah. So what's up, everyone? This is welcome to the first Check on My Dad pod Zoomcast. We've been trying to get me and I'm Perry. That's Soap.
So what's going on?
That way, and we've been trying to get this going for a while, and it's really just us dads just shooting the shit, unfiltered, and going over a couple topics. So and Soap.
Yeah, so this is just a way for dads to kind of talk about the ongoing things that have pretty much evolved from before the coronavirus, during coronavirus, and just how we kind of deal with things. So there's been a variety of topics that we've come up with and everything like that. And I really hope that this resonates with whoever is listening. Hopefully we can grow this to something more of a just a discussion, and obviously with Zoom we can add as many people as we want to this and have guests and everything. So I think it'd be a good platform to just get the conversation going. For dads, local or far or wherever it is, depending on what the reach is. But I think this is definitely a good platform to really have that conversation.
And conversation is right. I mean, it's really good for us to talk about it, and we found a lot of good, I guess, advice just amongst each other and peers, and this is why we want to do it. So, what's that first topic?
Yeah. So the first topic, this has been kind of one of the the things that for me has been a constant thing for at least the past week or two, or maybe even longer than that. But I've just really started to take a little more notice to it. And so essentially, obviously, with everything that's going on, a lot of us parents are working from home, having to deal with a lot of things that are going on. You don't have the luxuries of the escape of an office or having in-person meetings with colleagues and everything like that. So what ends up happening is that, at least for my situation, is that I'm having to, be obviously, working. And educating the kids and doing the playtimes and everything like that. But what I started to notice just recently is that my kids, they're 6 and 4, both girls. They're one is obviously elementary school, another one is going into kindergarten. And the common thing that they always ask me is one of two things. The first one is, "Daddy, are you having a meeting soon?" And the second one that kind of follows after that, like pretty much religiously, is, "Can you play with me, or can you play with us?" And
hell no, I'm working.
Hell no, it's hard, right? Because it's like it's such a hard topic, or like, how do you answer that kind of question? There's always this guilt factor, right? Whereas like, okay, you're busy, right? You have stuff to do, you have stuff to take care of, but then you got your little humans that want your attention, that want you to be present, to to be with them, to interact with them and everything. And it's such a guilty feeling, to be quite honest. I really don't know what to say sometimes. I kind of go and say, yeah, give me 5 minutes, which turns into like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, and then they forget. So I mean, just kind of tossing it back to you, Perry. Like, what do you do when your kids ask you that kind of question?
I mean, I understand the guilt for sure. And then this is the thing that working from home, I guess, gets us exposed to, that we're not used to, which is like having them around all the time while we have to like do our jobs, right? And for sure, I feel guilty. Like I want to play with you, but I gotta get this done. I mean, I try to time block as much as I can. So if I'm working, then it's just they'll come up to me, same questions too, like are you on a meeting again, or when can we go play? And with your scenario and your and everything, like I do the same thing. Like, just give me about 5-10 minutes, and then hoping that they'll just be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get bored and just go away. And and I literally, it's planned that way, where I go, just give me 10 minutes, and then, but there's some other three, and they'll remember and be like, hey, you said 10 minutes. Whatever 10 minutes feels to them is most likely beyond the time that the time they've waited is probably beyond 10 minutes. But and then I just try to I mean, although I feel guilty, I just try to at least like set a little like goal for myself for the job that I need to do at that time, you know, and then just, I just remember to come back to it, like
Yeah.
but it's hard, you know. It's easier said than done because like who doesn't want to go and just hang out with their kids all day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you got to get your stuff done, and I don't know, like I feel like at least like most of the time, maybe the way you say it, the way I snap at them, but my kids are pretty understanding of like, okay, daddy has to do work, you know.
Yeah.
And normally, you know, Sophia's home, you know, she'll just like, oh, let daddy do some work first, so which is really helpful, you know, to get that backed up and but kind of rely on them to distract them or like entertain them. But you know, it's like the feeling I get is equivalent to if I were to be in the office and it's super sunny outside. Everyone knows that you want to go outside and just hang out, right? But you got to be inside and take care of your stuff. So I have the same feeling when I'm at home with the kids. You know, like of course I want to go and play with them, but I got to get my work done. So what I do is like, I know I'm not gonna if I stay here and try to get all my work done, I'm never gonna be able to get outside, you know?
Yeah.
So
sorry to cut you off, but I'm in this definitely the same boat, you know, because the thing is, kids they want you to be present, they want you to be around and everything, and that definitely wears on your patience for sure. So I mean, I think we as dads and just in general as humans, right, we have to have that kind of that outlet, that kind of thing to make you take a step back, right, and kind of really rethink your situation and what's more important and everything like that. And I think that the kids are like such a huge reminder of it, you know. But I mean, to your point, yes, segmenting time, segmenting parts of your day, like where you go in blocks, if at all possible, I think is definitely you know, is definitely needed, right? Because I just have a feeling, and I really don't want to go too much into the psyche of this, like, you know, with regards to kids and everything. But yeah, I think it definitely, you know, it affects their well-being as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Like without a doubt, you know. But
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of it too. This kind of segues into like what the next thing, like I was kind of thinking about as well. It segues into it just so perfectly, because the thing is, with all the stuff that's going on, right, and the kids and everything, patience and really choosing your battles with the kids. Holy crap, man! It's just one of those things where it's like, man. I actually caught myself doing this quite a bit, where I think being at home and just being, you know, and don't get me wrong, I freaking love my kids, you know, but I think being around them 24/7 and just kind of being their personal assistant to make sure that they're on task with like schoolwork, and, you know, hey, you have Zoom meetings with your class and packets and everything like that. Holy crap. Like you start to become so nitpicky with everything. And I think, you know, this doesn't only just apply to kids. It applies to marriage. It applies to any situation that you deal with on a regular basis, inside the house, outside the house, office, whatever. Choose your battles. I think that, like, once my wife mentioned that to me, that really, you know, made me think about everything and how I would actually deal with it. Right,
like choosing your battles.
Yeah, no, choosing my battles, like for sure. Like for instance, like, hey, the girls' room is, you know, the girls need to clean their room. Do I nitpick about each and everything that they're doing wrong, or do I just, you know, obviously let certain things slide, right? Because the thing is, I know for a fact for me, given that right now tempers are kind of all over the place, and just your overall mentality and everything is kind of not where it should be. I think if I were to nitpick on every little thing that they do or do not do, I'm going to go crazy.
No, I mean, for sure. Like, we're not used to being at home with each other 24/7. And that means all of us, kids, dad, mom, you know, like 24/7. We're used to them going to school. We're used to us going to work. And that's like our outlet, you know, our like, I mean, that really is our outlet, and that gives us it goes into like balancing, right? When we're at home and they're constantly around us and we're constantly around them, there's no balance there. We have to
like figure out different ways to balance what we need for ourselves, right? That personal
Yeah.
time, whatever like that. And then, and to your point about picking your battles, and yeah, I mean, like, come on, like, you're with each other all the time, all day, and if they don't make their bed, like, I mean, just I'm not gonna get on them hard about that. I'll just be like, hey, make your bed after lunch or something, some type of compromise. Most of the time they listen to me, but like other times, like if it's messy and it's in their room, okay, that's fine, as long as it's not like out of control where like there's just things all out the drawers and
Or
clothes
it's
everywhere.
contained.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's in their bed, okay, cool. And then eventually, once my work is done or whatever like that, then I'll cycle back to them and say, hey, look, like, you guys are bored right now, why don't you just go fix your bed?
Yeah.
And then of course they'll whine and be like, oh, why? And then in reality, it's a valid why, because why? There's no one's gonna come around and see it. Like,
Right.
I mean, it's but it's just more like, let's just keep things neat and cleanly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though. These little kids, like when they ask us these kind of questions, why this, why that, I think we can definitely learn a lot from them and the way that their logic is building, right? Because I mean, there's certain things that they tell us, like in that situation, it's like, well, why do I need to do it? Who am I going to impress? Who's going to actually see this to actually say one thing or another, right? I mean, I think that logic, it makes 100%, like makes total sense to me. But at the same time, is like, we as adults, we're like, okay, we like to have things a certain way, like clean and everything. And so we kind of instill this in them, and hopefully it takes, but obviously it's not going to happen all the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you touch on a lot of great topics and points and everything like that. And one of the ones that I think we spoke about this in passing before as well is having that outlet to remain sane at this point. Like, I know some of the things, like, because look, truth be told, all these things kind of tie into each other in one way or another, right? You're busy, the kids want to play. How do you remain patient when your kids keep on asking you, hey, let's go play, choosing your battles? But also, ultimately, on top of that, as adults, like, it's so crazy because, having an outlet, right? Because usually my commute was usually from home to office was about an hour and a half, and about the same coming home. So that's roughly about 3 hours that I actually had to myself, right? That was my me time. That was my outlet to just kind of not even think about anything, but just worrying about what's on the road. And I think, some ways or some things that I've done to actually give myself the ability to like decompress and everything. One is obviously you're going to see friends, which I saw you guys about a week and a half ago.
That was refreshing.
Yeah, no, it helps, right? Because the thing is, look, as human beings, we need that human interaction, right? Even if it's through a Zoom video or a Zoom chat like this, it's personal, but it's not. You need that tangible aspect of it, right? And I think, seeing people obviously helps. But one thing that I do personally, I like to go driving, on the mountains and everything like that. And the good thing about that is that it's just me, my car, and the road. But also on top of that, what I actually do sometimes, it seems kind of crazy. You will kind of look at yourself and think, man, I think I'm going crazy. You just go drive and just scream at the top of your lungs. Because oh no, I totally do it. It helps so much. I
gotta try it.
Yeah. It's very therapeutic. It relieves so much stress. That obviously coupled with breathing exercises and everything. Another thing that I've actually done in passing as well, just to kind of, and I know I don't have high blood pressure, or at least I don't. I hope I don't. But I think what I've also done in the past is there's quite a few apps that help with meditation. One is like Headspace. Another one is the Calm app and everything like that. So it takes no more than like 5-10 minutes just to kind of get like an empty space just for you to control your breathing, control your everything that's going on with your mind and everything, like because obviously as an adult we have so many ideas of things that we want to do, right? But there's certain confines of what we can and cannot do, right? And in this case, it's like the house and just not being able to go outside. So I think the only thing that you can control is yourself and your thoughts, right? We're going at like 100, 200 miles an hour, but utilizing these apps will definitely help calm you down. and just kind of put you at ease and just de-stress. At least for me, that's what I've done. And obviously I don't do it every day, but it does help, from a day-to-day perspective.
I mean, I think the most important thing is as long as you recognize that you have this outlet that you can take advantage of when you need to, it's really important that we have something, whether it be driving, meditating, just shutting your eyes for a bit, going for a walk, going for a run, whatever it is, right? Like if you have an outlet, you need it. That's plain and simple. You need something, like for me, it's I used to go to a gym a lot, like at a studio. Now I can't go, obviously. The first week was really rough. I didn't know what to do with myself. And I realized after, I'm like, if I don't find something for me to do that's similar, I'm going to go crazy. I don't have that patience to be around my kids 24/7 to answer their 50 million questions all in a minute. How to go. It's just like, like I processing your first question and you're asking another one, and now I'm confused.
Yeah.
But the outlet, is still the same. So, like I'm gonna try the driving and the yelling thing because I mean you're just in your car anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and to hop on that, like yesterday I did my rounds for I had to be in the East Bay for a couple of things, but then I decided to drop off some some exotic Thai lace chips to a bunch of friends. And
I saw that.
Yeah. It was nice just to drive around and just listen to the podcast or whatever like that, or sing. I like to sing in the car. And then when I went there to see them, and we kept our distance, had my mask on, and it was nice to just chat with them. And the feeling was mutual, and it's really like when you came to visit, it was really, really refreshing. Because everyone right now is pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah.
Especially everyone who has kids, right? I mean, if your kids are in school or normally in school, now they're not, they're home with you, you're affected 100%.
Yeah.
And, and I don't think that what we know as normal, what was normal anymore is we can't change our brain to adjust to that now, where like, okay, the new normal is that I wake up, I see them, every meal I see them, nighttime I see them, like we're
it's like you can't even get away from them, right? It's just there 100%.
Yeah, no, I mean we have to really like work with our spouses and block off time and give each other this time. Otherwise, like we're not gonna progress to anything,
No.
Like we've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and we live pretty far apart, so like actually physically meeting up is a little harder, but this is okay. I mean, this seems to work.
Yeah, I think this is a good medium for sure. In all honesty, I think it's been a long time coming, and hopefully we can keep this going, because I think the thing is though is that there's tons of topics out there that we can discuss, and hopefully whoever's going to be viewing this and whoever is actually going to be listening in, regardless of which medium you use, hopefully is useful, because I think these are real topics, and the whole idea is to do this as raw and as unfiltered as possible. So there may be some curse words and everything here and there. We'll try to block them out, but it doesn't matter. I think that the real topics are what's really going to really resonate with people, and I really hope it does. So
sorry. Yeah.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, we've always, when we see each other, like in person before, many times, like we've always had these conversations just amongst each other. And now, it's nice to like share that and then also like send it out there. See who else is like down, like we're welcoming with open arms, and we're just, like I said, we're just shooting the shit and just talking, just because like you never know what you're gonna learn from someone, and like just hearing other people's like feelings or situations, you can definitely relate to, and maybe it'll shine some light on your own situation. Like like a few weeks ago, like I was having a really hard time. At 10 minutes, okay. I was having a really hard time, with the kids at home and not having an outlet, not being able to focus on, the work that I want to work on and everything like that. And everything was just all jumbled together, and the guilt, like you said, was there, where it was just like, I feel so obligated when, like, how can you turn off being a parent at home when your kids are home when you're trying to work?
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing. You can't. There's no off switch. And the only off switch that you have is when they go to sleep. And even then, by the time you get to that point, you are either too tired to think about anything, you're too tired to really do anything, and all you do is just put stuff on, like whether it be Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, whatever it is, and that's your me time. But then you can't do anything else because you're so freaking tired. Know. I mean, even like, the thing is that it definitely weighs heavily on marriages. I am 100% in belief of that, because the thing is that, we're not used to being 100% with each other all the time. Granted, like, look, I love my kids, I love my wife, but at the same time, we do need our space. And without that space, you will potentially get at each other. You'll get at each other's throats. That's just a byproduct of being together all the time. That's why work was such a great outlet, and school was a great outlet. You know what I mean?
Preach. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really
because,
was.
yeah. And it's just unfortunate the way things have gone. And the only thing that we can do is really just be as patient as possible. As easy as it sounds, my God, it's such a hard thing to actually practice.
I'm patient in certain things, but like this situation, I haven't shown much patience at all, and
we're on the same boat, dude. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah. But like to go back to my story about how, like, I was like feeling fed up, it was really refreshing when you reached out to me and said, hey man, like, you want to chat, and then at first my initial thought was like, no, I'm good, and I was like, wait, hold on, I would like to chat,
yeah
and it was really, it was super nice just to like talk to someone, just get it out there, just talk to another bro, and just like just put it out there, because we're all, I'm sure, and I hope our wives are doing something similar too. Otherwise, I don't want them to go crazy, because I felt so much better after that, right?
Yeah.
After our talk. And so I'm hoping that if, like, obviously the feeling may be mutual, if we don't want to have tensions build and then eventually resent each other. I was there before.
Yeah.
It got really, really bad. So I hope she has other girlfriends or whoever else to talk to as well, because I think it's just going to be helpful all around.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. And a good example, like, we've been, we're on month 2 of it.
Almost, right? I believe another week will be.
Yeah, almost month 2 in shelter in place. And yesterday, Sophia had to go in office for a pretty long time, like 6 hours straight. She hasn't done that in over 2 months. Mm-hmm. I was driving around and had to help my parents with something, and also visit one of my listings. And luckily for us, we live with our in-laws, so we just told them, hey, we're gonna be out for a while, and you can watch them. They're really helpful, and they were cool with it. And girls were great. But the part where it felt weird after is like, both Sophia and I came home, and then I haven't done this in a while. I was like, how was your day?
Yeah. Oh God, that's
right?
very important. Yeah.
Like how, like for the past 2 months, I know exactly how your day was. So I'm not gonna ask you.
Right. I think if you were to ask that kind of question when you guys were both at home, I think it'll probably annoy the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, like
person receiving, exactly.
Yeah. You're with me at, you attached to me at the hip. I ate what you ate. I peed when you. I
know. It's like, weren't you paying attention? Then that kind of brews up into like another Pandora's box type of conversation. And, you don't want to get into that kind of.
No. But it was really nice to ask her, like, how was your day? And then she asked me about mine and what did I do, and it was really cool.
Normal,
like,
huh?
Yeah, it felt normal. It felt like, wow, like, okay, like, and when I came home, I'm just used to seeing the girls all the time. They both ran down, and they're like, hey, I miss you. And I was like, and I couldn't register it because I've been with them 2 months straight. I was just like, what do you mean you miss me? I'm always here.
And you're crazy.
Yeah, I'm always here. And then I'm like, wait, hold on. No, I was away for a while.
Yeah.
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 So it was,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was nice, man.
such a good reminder for sure,
Yeah.
of
The,
the little things.
the analogy I can think of that matches perfectly to this scenario is you can't make music without silence. You know?
Yes.
So it's like the music in our lives, like it just sounds so much better when you have a little bit of silence, a little bit of quietness in between. And that's what us going out and doing our thing was the silence to the constant, noise or music of our family and being around our kids and everything. So
Yeah.
we need it. It just sounds
You
so
need
much
it.
better.
Preach.
Right?
Preach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I'm thinking of different ways to like, okay, we should just go out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I think from that time that we met, I'm like, dude. I mean, although it's kind of defying the whatever the government orders and everything like that. I mean, it's not as bad as what we've seen other people do in terms of, and I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I think it's very, very, I don't even know what the word is, but it's not as bad as like congregating in big groups and kind of doing like a celebration or anything,
Yeah. We were
like, so someone actually asked me, hey, you're not scared of driving around and, being pulled over? I'm like, why? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just driving around to get either some air or some sun or just to drive somewhere.
Yeah.
But, am I causing any harm to anyone? I don't think so. So.
Someone would say that? Like,
Yeah, someone asked me that. I was very surprised. Yeah, I was like, oh, you crazy. Come on, I'm just driving around. It's not that big of a deal.
You're not doing anything. I mean, like,
Yeah.
And they're also like laxing the shelter in place right now. I think we're on like phase 2, right? So they're slowly opening up things. So like, I would think that now would be even a better time than like last month, right? To do but like
To
you
do all
said,
those things, yeah.
you're in complete isolation. You're just driving around. You're not harming anyone. Like I don't see the fuss about that either.
No, not at all. I mean, it definitely, look, just like plants, we need some sun, right? The kids need sun. You and your relationship, you need to get out, right? It helps everyone all involved. That's my take on it. But it is what it is. There's always going to be people that are going to be against it or always question it and stuff like that. We can't really please everyone.
For sure.
But but I think bottom line, we're just trying to do our best, and hopefully it all works out in the end. But only time will tell.
Everyone's in the same boat with being busy one way or another, whether it's shelter in place or not. Shelter in place just adds another level to it that like no one can prepare for, right? But the same thing is we've had this conversation prior to shelter in place. Like we all need an outlet and to keep our sanity. Obviously, hopefully they're healthy outlets. Not like just shooting up coke or anything like that. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
but we're about time.
Yeah.
But I guess at least for me, my parting words are hopefully whoever's watching and participating enjoys this. I think just stay safe, be healthy, help each other out, stick together. We'll get through it.
Yeah, no, couldn't have said it any better. Like everyone needs an outlet. If you guys hearing this and you guys can relate to our situation helps you, so be it. Take that and run. But this is just us two dads just sharing our stories, and hopefully it helps you and your family, and it gives you perspective on how you guys can better yourselves too. But we're gonna do more of these for sure.
Yes, sir.
Like we could talk for another 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, or longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upgrade to that pro soon.
For sure. But stay safe and
right,
happy Mother's Day.
You too. Happy Mother's Day.
Peace.
Later, bye.
Bye. Bye.